The movement toward freer trade under a customs union affects wood welfare in two opposing ways: a welfare increasing trade creation effect and a welfare decreasing trade diversion effect. The overall consequence of a customs union on the welfare of its members, as well as on the world as a whole, depends on the relative strength of these two opposing forces. Trade creation occurs when a domestic production of one customs union member is replaced by another member's lower cost imports. The welfare of the member countries is increased by trade creation because it leads to increased production specialization according to the principle of comparative advantage. The trade creation effect consists of a consumption effect and a production effect. Before the formation of the customs union and under its own tariff umbrella, Luxembourg imports from the United States at a price of $3.5 per bushel. Luxembourg's entry into the customs union results in its dropping all tariffs against Germany. Facing a lower import price of $3.25, Luxembourg increases its consumption of grain by 3 bushels. The welfare gain associated with this increase in consumption equals triangle B in this figure. The formation of the customs union also yields a production effect, resulting in a more efficient use of world resources. Eliminating the tariff barrier against Germany means that Luxembourg's producers must now compete against lower cost, more efficient German producers. Inefficient domestic producers drop out of the market, resulting in a decline in home output of 3 bushels. The reduction in the cost of obtaining this output equals triangle A in the figure. This triangle represents the favorable production effect. The overall trade creation effect is given by the sum of triangles A plus B. Although a customs union may add to world welfare by way of trade creation, its trade diversion effect generally implies a welfare loss. Trade diversion occurs when imports from a low-cost supplier outside the union are replaced by purchases from a high-cost supplier within the union. This diversion suggests that world production is reorganized less efficiently. In this figure, the total volume of trade increases under the customs unions. Part of this trade, 10 bushels has been diverted from a low-cost supplier, the United States, to a high-cost supplier, Germany. The increase in the cost of obtaining these 10 bushels of imported grain equals area C. This is the welfare loss to Luxembourg as well as to the world as a whole. Our static analysis concludes that the formation of a customs union will increase the welfare of its members as well as the rest of the world if the positive trade creation effect more than offsets the negative trade diversion effect. Referring to this figure, this occurs if A plus B is greater than C. This analysis illustrates that the success of a customs union depends on the factors contributing to trade creation and diversion. Several factors that bear on the relative size of these effects can be identified. One factor is the kinds of nations that tend to benefit from a customs union. Nations whose pre-union economies are quite competitive are likely to benefit from trade creation because the formation of the union offers greater opportunity for specialization in production. Also, the larger the size and the greater the number of nations in the union, the greater the gains are likely to be, because there is a greater possibility that the world's low-cost producers will be union members. In the extreme case in which the union consists of the entire world, there exists only trade creation, not trade diversion. In addition, the scope for trade diversion is smaller when the customs union's common external tariff is lower rather than higher. Because a lower tariff allows greater trade to take place with non-member nations, there will be less replacement of cheaper imports from non-member nations by relatively high-cost imports from partner nations.